Hey, coin collectors and enthusiasts! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever come across a coin that you thought was worth just a penny, but turned out to be worth way more than that? Well, buckle up because today we're diving deep into the world of the 2002 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that could potentially be worth a staggering $73 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around to learn how a simple coin could be worth a small fortune. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more mind-blowing coin stories. At first glance, the 2002 1-cent coin looks just like any other penny. Its copper-plated zinc weighs about 2.5 grams and carries the face value of just 1 cent. But did you know that a small number of these coins have become incredibly valuable? And we're not talking about a few extra bucks, we're talking millions of dollars. So, what makes this particular penny so special? Let's rewind a bit. The US Mint first introduced the 1-cent coin, or penny, all the way back in 1793. Over the centuries, pennies have undergone various design changes, but they've always had one thing in common, being worth just 1 cent. Fast forward to 2002, when the 2002 1-cent coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. At first glance, nothing seems extraordinary about this penny. It features the famous Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, and on the obverse, we have the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln. So, where does the big money part come in? The key to understanding why the 2002 1-cent coin could be worth millions lies in a rare error, a production mistake that only a handful of these coins have. You see, every now and then, a coin is minted with a unique flaw, making it more valuable to collectors. In the case of the 2002 penny, there's a rare and sought-after error known as the double die variety. This occurs when the coin's design is struck multiple times during the minting process, creating a doubled image on the coin. In the 2002 penny, this doubling can be found particularly on the Liberty inscription and the date itself. Take a close look at this coin. Notice the clear doubling on the word Liberty and the year 2002. This subtle, but significant, error is what sets the 2002 double die penny apart from a regular 1-cent coin. And while many of these pennies are found in circulation, only a small number were affected by this particular error. That's what makes them so valuable. So, just how much could a 2002 double die penny be worth? Well, depending on its condition and the degree of doubling, these coins can be valued anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars. But here's where it gets crazy. There are reports of these rare pennies selling for as much as $73 million. That's right, $73 million. But hold your horses, before you start checking your pockets for a 2002 penny, let's break down how this figure came about. While no confirmed sale has reached the $73 million mark, this is a speculative estimate based on the rarity and demand for such an error coin. If one were to be found in pristine condition and verified by experts, there's a possibility that it could fetch such a jaw-dropping sum at an auction. So, why would a simple penny be worth so much? The answer lies in the world of coin collecting. Rare and error coins have long been sought after by collectors, investors, and numismatists. The 2002 double die penny, with its unique flaw, is a coveted piece for those looking to complete their collections or make a serious return on investment. For example, in the past, rare error coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1943 copper penny have sold for millions, proving that certain mistakes in minting can lead to significant rewards. The rarity, combined with the historical and numismatic significance, is what drives the price of these coins so high. But how can you tell if you've got a 2002 double die penny on your hands? The first step is to inspect the coin closely, especially the Liberty inscription and the date. If you notice any signs of doubling, like a blurry or thickened edge to the letters and numbers, then you might have a valuable error coin on your hands. You'll want to get a magnifying glass or a loupe to help spot these tiny details. And once you've identified a potential error coin, the next step is to have it authenticated by a professional grading service. Authentication is crucial for determining the value, as not all coins with slight imperfections are error coins. Grading is the process of assessing a coin's condition, which can range from poor to perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Professional grading services, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can provide the certification needed to prove your coin's authenticity and value. Once your coin is graded, you can decide whether to sell it or keep it in your collection. Some collectors might choose to sell their rare coins at auction, where bidding wars can drive prices to astronomical levels. Others might choose to hold onto them, hoping that their value continues to rise over time. So, the 2002 D1 coin may seem like just another penny in your pocket, but if you find one with the right error, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. While most 2002 D pennies are worth only 1 cent, a small number of them have become highly sought after by collectors and could potentially be worth millions. If you're serious about coin collecting or just happen to stumble upon a 2002 D penny, it might be worth checking for any doubling on the lettering. You could be sitting on a rare and valuable piece of US history. Who knows? Maybe your penny is the next big thing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories. And as always, happy collecting! Next 1995 D1 USA coin. Today, we've got a truly fascinating coin to talk about, the 1995 D1 coin. Now, we all know that pennies are typically worth just 1 cent, but what if I told you that this particular penny might be worth a staggering $67 million? It sounds crazy, right? But stick with us, and we'll break down exactly why this 1995 D penny could be worth such an insane amount of money. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking your pockets for any 1995 D pennies you might have lying around. So, what makes the 1995 D1 coin stand out from all the other pennies in circulation? The first thing you should know is that most 1995 D pennies are just like any other, the typical copper-plated zinc design, with Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In fact, the 1995 D penny was part of a regular mintage and was produced in massive numbers, with billions of these coins making their way into circulation. But what makes some of them worth way more than their face value? It all comes down to a rare error, an error that could send the value of a 1995 D penny skyrocketing to millions. Before we get into the specifics of the error, let's take a quick look at the history of the 1995 D penny. In 1995, the US Mint was in full swing, producing billions of pennies each year to keep up with the demand for low-denomination coins. The design of the 1995 D penny was the same as it had been for decades, with the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. In fact, the 1995 D penny was just another year of mintage in the long history of US pennies. With its production run in Denver, the D, the mint mark on the coin, tells us where it was made. Nothing about the 1995 D penny screamed valuable, at least, not until we get into the error coin that really grabbed the attention of collectors. So, what's the big deal with the 1995 D penny? Well, in 1995, a very rare and specific error occurred during the minting process. It's known as the 1995 double die penny error, and it's one of the most sought-after varieties in the coin collecting world. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during production, causing the coin's design to be imprinted multiple times in a double pattern. In the case of the 1995 D penny, this mistake led to the doubling of several important elements on the coin, most notably the word Liberty and the date, 1995. Take a look at this close-up. See how the word Liberty appears to be doubled? And check out the year 1995, it's also doubled, with the numbers appearing blurry or thickened. This subtle yet distinctive error makes the 1995 D double die penny incredibly valuable. But here's the kicker, only a small number of these error coins were made, making them very rare and highly prized by collectors. Now, the question on everyone's mind, just how much is this 1995 D penny worth? Well, the value can vary depending on a few key factors, such as the condition of the coin and the degree of doubling. For example, most 1995 D double die pennies can be worth several hundred to a few $1,000s if they are in good condition. However, things get really interesting when we talk about the rarest examples. Some reports have suggested that a particularly well-preserved 1995 D double die penny could fetch as much as $67 million, yes, million, at auction. But before you start rushing to your coin jar to check for this elusive penny, let's talk about why a coin could be worth that much. The reality is that $67 million figure is a bit speculative, and no confirmed sale has reached that exact amount. But it's based on the rarity, condition, and high demand for these era coins. You see, coin collectors and investors know that rare era coins like the 1995 D double die penny can appreciate over time, sometimes in ways that defy logic. Coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1943 copper penny have sold for millions in the past, showing that minting errors, especially those with historical significance, can drive prices to jaw-dropping levels. As for the 1995 D double die penny, its rarity and the unique nature of the era make it a prime target for collectors willing to pay big money for the chance to own one of these coins. But how can you tell if you've got a 1995 D double die penny? Well, there are a few key signs to look for. First, examine the word Liberty and the date 1995 under magnification. If you notice any signs of doubling, where the letters or numbers seem blurry or thickened, you may have a valuable era coin on your hands. If you're still unsure, you can also check the mint mark, which will appear as a D on the obverse side, indicating that the penny was minted in Denver. But remember, not every 1995 D penny is a double die coin, so it's crucial to inspect the details carefully. Once you've found a coin you think might be the rare 1995 D double die penny, the next step is to get it authenticated and graded by a professional. This is important because the value of era coins is heavily influenced by their condition, and a professional grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, will give you an official grade and certification for your coin. Grading can range from goods to a mint state, with the higher grades commanding more money. Once graded, your coin will have an official value attached, and if it's a rare 1995 D double die penny, you could have a very valuable piece in your hands. So, there you have it. The 1995 D 1-cent coin might look like just another penny at first, but if you happen to come across one with the rare double die era, you could be sitting on a small fortune. While most 1995 D pennies are worth only a cent, the era coins can sell for thousands, and in some cases, who knows, maybe even $67 million. Before you run to the coin jar or the local store to look for these rare pennies, just remember that only a tiny fraction of the 1995 D pennies were affected by this era. But if you find one, make sure to have it authenticated and graded. You could be holding onto a piece of US history worth more than you ever imagined. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. And as always, happy coin hunting!